Hello everyone, welcome to CNA, the daily newspaper analysis. So today we are back with the following list of topics to discuss. So let's start. The first topic says about India to showcase success in rural and archaeological tourism at G20 meeting. So we all know that this year India is organizing the G20 summit, and in this context, we could see that the Latpura Khas village of Madhya Pradesh, Khonama village of Nagaland, and heritage sites like Dholabira will be showcased as success stories of rural and archaeological tourism by India during this respective summit. Okay, so we all know that India is today growing in all such number of tourism facilities. Okay, so all these respective villages or these areas has been chosen to showcase India's prominence of tourism so that we can attract more and more number of tourism peoples towards our country, and so that our tourism sector can directly get a boost out of the people who will be coming on to these areas for visiting such areas. So therefore we can see that this was basically news saying about the rural and archaeological tourism. Okay, so this is all with the respective news. Next पे आता है Indian eye drop causing adverse events in US. So recently, the Chennai-based Global Pharma Healthcare has recalled its eye drops from the US market after US government agencies Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said that several people have suffered from adverse events that are possibly associated with the use of the products. So these eye drops are not sold in India, and therefore the CDC has alerted the US Food and Drug Administration that to date there were 55 cases of adverse events, including eye infections, permanent loss of vision, and one death with a bloodstream infections. तो अभी यहाँ पे ये CDC हमारे यहाँ पे जांच करेंगे कि ये सब किस लिए हुआ है and because of which element today such number of conditions can be seen amongst the US patients. Okay, so this was therefore in news. So please remember about the company with which such number of eye drops is related. Okay, चलो next पे आते हैं Tihar artificial intelligence power surveillance system. So Tihar jail is installing artificial intelligence power CCTV cameras to monitor inmates and fight crimes. So these AI powered CCTV cameras will help detect movements in even the dark spots. So the premises will also have a real-time grievance redressal system and optical fiber network. So the grievance redressal system will operate like police control rooms to address the problems of inmates in real time. So Tihar jail is the largest prison complex in South Asia and is home to some of the most high-profile criminals. And the maximum security Tihar jail, which has the capacity of housing around 5,200 inmates, has 12,762 prisoners at present across its 9 central prisons. So this overcrowding has made monitoring by human activities very difficult, and therefore we can see that government is coming up with this AI powered system so as to survey LV number of inmates associated with this respective jail. Okay, next पे आते हैं Russian financial firms in India. So recently what we have seen that Moscow proposal to RBI set up Russian financial firms in India won't face sanctions. So over 2 months after the RBI of India allowed the opening of 9 Vostro accounts in 2 Indian banks facilitate overseas trade in rupee with sanctions hit Russia, Moscow has flagged off concerns over lack of progress and proposed radical new initiatives to deepen financial cooperation between India and Russia. So since there is no progress, so even the Russian authorities today are not liking it, and therefore it has been said that if you wants to have a good cooperation with countries like Russia and India, so this type of Vostro accounts, this type of setup should come in a very faster manner so that both the countries could cooperate well and both the countries could even exchange their respective economies well. So therefore, we could see that is a recent delay here that is a growing concern in the banks of Russia, so that we could see that this was basically under the current situation. Okay, so next आते हैं lastly editorial में तो Saatchi scrutiny is not a case of piring eyes. So what has been said about here? So recently the Supreme Court of India has agreed to live telecast some of its hearings. Then this move was warmly welcomed by activists who are clamoring for more openness and transparency in judicial proceedings. And to make the judicial process more accessible, the Chief Justice of India said that the judgments of the Supreme Court will be translated into 4 languages, that is Hindi, Gujarati, Oriya, and Tamil. And as the English language is in its legal avatar is not comprehensive to around 99.9% of its citizens, therefore, Supreme Court's ruling on charge sheets appears to be retrograde. So it is ruled that a charge sheet filed against an accused in a criminal case is not a public document within the meaning of Right to Information Act of 2005 or the Indian Evidence Act of Then we could see that thus this demand to upload the charge sheet onto a public website as soon as it is filed in the court was untenable. So therefore, charge sheet is the final report specified by the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973, and it's a comprehensive account of the crime in question and has crucial information like list of prosecution, witnesses, and documents in support of the investigating officer's conclusion. So therefore, today we have got various number of concerns associated with it. So it is argued that it's a setback for those demanding more transparency in criminal justice administration. Also, the ruling contradicts the earlier judgment in the Youth Bar Association of India versus Union of India. And however, as per this ruling, a charge sheet is different from FIR and thus cannot be shared with anyone other than accused and the victim. So it was further said that the true information would become public during the trial. Any attempt to part with details contained in this document even before a trial begins would be detrimental to the accused and the victim. So now we could see that there are various number of significance associated with the charge sheet. So we all know that in early days of constitution, confidentiality was the major aspect of all judicial activities. The judiciary was considered sacrosanct, where none of its action was open to criticism or scrutiny. So today we could see that it is suggested that the Supreme Court's order against public scrutiny of a charge sheet before a trial begins is a setback to the judicial reform and has the potential to hamper the quality of an investigation. So it is thus recommended to review this decision, as increased transparency can further strengthen the efficiency of both the investigating agency and the judiciary. So that is, we can see, which has been said about the judiciary and its respective reforms, which even various number of activists are wanting in the respective judicial system. Okay, so this is with the respective editorial we could see. So we have these 500 MCQs. Please do attempt these MCQs and do join our WhatsApp and Telegram channel for further updates. So that's all for today. Thank you and Jai Hind.